Greetings and welcome back to yet another episode of Slay the Spire, and today we're going to be playing as the Ironclad with the modifiers of Heirloom, which means we start with one rare relic, we get more gold but we can't upgrade, and of course lethality, we have more strength but so do our enemies. So this is looking like a really interesting daily. We will obviously want cards which deal damage multiple times so we can actually take advantage of lethality, and we would want cards that are maybe good unupgraded because we won't really have a chance to do that ourselves. Now, with all of that said, let's just Slay the Spire. For some reason, if you quit the screen and come back, the embark button disappears and I wasn't able to click it, which is a little bit silly. Instance burner, every 6 turns gain 1 intangible is excellent. And we want to fight elites, right? We want to get as many points as possible. This is looking like a decent path, and then we can hit the question mark and that's okay. So 2 elites here. Maybe I even want to go in this direction because there's a campfire here and there is a shop here. We will have money to spend, so that seems like a good idea in my book. Would I rather rest before an elite or after one? I think it doesn't really matter. I think after an elite is better. Right, I don't even have a choice. I have to rest because I can't upgrade, right? Doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter. It's fine. I can just go to the shop then. Is this enough to kill him? That's 11, and then that should be enough because he will be vulnerable and then he's dead. The 3 extra strength really does help out early on. Searing Blow is not going to be very good for us. Combust has some options. There are some options to make this a decent card because especially if you get some other powers which synergize with it. But the question is this going to be good when enemies are buffed up? Or do we really want to deal damage to ourselves? I think the answer is no. I think we want to preserve some of our HP and still go with that initial strategy of just getting as many cards which deal damage as many times possible. I think that should be good. Maybe some power upgrades. He should be dead. The math definitely checks out in this case. Twin Strike is, for example, one of those cards. And we do want some of these cards early on because we're going to be fighting elites, right? Oh, a shop. Dramatic Entrance. I've always had some of an affinity for Dramatic Entrance, but I think an unupgraded one is especially particularly good. We'll be hitting the shop next one, so I guess I'm gonna buy a flex for 22 gold. That just seems like a good deal. Maybe we remove something, like a basic strike. I think that's a good deal. Then we can spend some of the rest of the money on this shop. A Reaper is fine. I mean, not a Reaper, a Heavy Blade. Yeah, sure. Upgraded. If we ever have the chance to upgrade this to a question mark, which there will be a few of, we will definitely want to do that because an upgraded Heavy Blade is just so much better than an unupgraded one. But still, it seems good for early floors. So, does it really matter what I do here? We want to kill, right? So let's kill. We want to kill. That's exactly why I'm playing this game. I'm intangible this turn, but it doesn't really matter. Armaments, another Heavy Blade. I mean, yes, maybe having 2 is not the worst of things. Doesn't seem like the worst of things to me. Do I want to strike him for 22 damage? We do have a fire potion, so let's keep this in mind. I think we want to make him vulnerable and then go at him. Like with this, for example, this is much better. Not much better, a little better. Now he's vulnerable, so we'll be able to do a little bit more damage. A flex is fine. Do I do a bash and a defend? I think that seems to be a reasonable conclusion. Maybe I need some block in this deck. I usually avoid block like the Devil's Bane. I will just throw this at him. In decks like this, mostly because they don't seem to fit, right? But they do. Another Twin Strike is completely fine, I suppose. Arrest is also fine. But I definitely need some blocking, or at least some ways to mitigate damage if I want to get those perfect. That's 16 damage, that's 23, and now it's gonna be 29. So yeah, picking up Heavy Blades was definitely a good idea here. They're dealing a ridiculous amount of damage, especially with some flexes. Now, if I can just get something which will actually help me survive things, a Shrug It Off is a good start. It's like a Shrug It Off. A Maw Bank seems fine, especially because we don't have a shop here. I mean, would it be better to get another relic? Maybe. This is an interesting conundrum, right? We have to think about it. I'll definitely play a defend here just so I can mitigate damage from this guy. I'm not sure if I'll be actually able to defend against him, because we don't have any more blocks, right? We would need 3 defense to block all damage, which is not ideal, especially because 2 enemies are attacking us. So, right, that doesn't help. If we had the potion, maybe, but I don't. So, is there a rest coming up? Kind of. I mean, we can go in this direction. This seems like it would net us more points. So considering I won't heal now because I'm forced to heal at this point, I'll just defend so I can take some damage from him. Yeah, but I was talking about Maulbank, right? Maulbank seems like an okay trinket in some sense because it gives you money, but in another sense, it's just not really all that useful. The main, I guess I'll just strike this guy and try to kill him next turn. But the problem is, right, if you get another trinket, you already have that trinket, and in this case you're basically just having to wait to get to a certain amount of money before it becomes useful. So for example, if a trinket costs 200 gold, you will need 13 floors for Maulbank to get you that trinket back, right? Which is actually a really bad deal, because if you want to make a profit on this, you need more than 13 floors of climbing, and that's basically like an entire floor. So it's not as good as it seems. I think it's a good idea if you buy it in a shop and you buy it voluntarily, but even in that case, it might be a better idea just to get something else entirely. At the end of turn 7, deal 40 damage to all enemies. Doesn't seem all that useful to me. A thunderclap is definitely a good deal here. A way to make enemies vulnerable, some AoE, and because we have 3 strength, yeah, this should be good. Right. Let's see what we can do here. We can't just outright kill him. I also am not too big of a fan of defending. Sure, let us hit him for 16, and we'll just be able to heal it back up. He's just dead with 1 strike. Cleave, not that big of a fan. Uppercut gives us weak. I mean, a weak should be useful. This gets much better if we can actually upgrade it. Considering we can't upgrade it, I think I'll skip it. Just skip this bonfire. We don't need the bonfire. We can just straight up murder this fella. So let's do that. I didn't even do the math, it just seemed to check out. And luckily it did. It's tragic if it didn't. With some vulnerable and having some strength, that's just an amazing combination. Iron Wave. I'm a fan of Iron Wave. Does it fit this deck though? Maybe just some extra block. I don't think Iron Wave is actually that good now that I think about it. It's just some damage and some block. It's fine. He's dead. Is drawing there a good idea? I don't think so, because we want some of these hard-hitting cards so we can actually kill these guys in 1 turn. Maybe not, maybe yes. I'm not sure. I've yet to deliberate it. It depends on if there are more bad cards in your deck than good ones. So if there are more bad cards, then it's a good idea to draw, right? Because it's more likely you're gonna draw into something that's inherently bad. Warcry, we can't upgrade it, right? Some cards become very good when you upgrade them. I think Warcry is one of them. Unupgraded though, they're just, I'm miffed by them. Heavy Blade is fine. For the early floors, having a lot of offense tends to work out great. You really start feeling the absence of blocks when you get to those 2nd floor bosses or some elites. Sword Boomerang is exactly what I kind of want here. Either we just want to do so much damage that we're just able to kill enemies outright or bosses, or we want something that makes this a sustainable deck, right? Either we just kill them or we make it sustainable. This is gonna be 27 damage, which is ridiculous. Will I phase him with this? That's 24 damage, he'll be at 82, no, it's fine. So at 70 he phases, but exactly 70 he phases, I've learned that not too long ago. Is this the turn to phase him? Will there be a better turn? I mean, a flex plus... If I just bash him, he doesn't phase yet, right? Yeah, if I just do that and then go at him next turn, this should be better. He's gonna be preparing his attack now, which is fine. Now I can just do this. This is pretty decent. having them be at 26 life means I can probably just kill one of them outright. Maybe both of them. I didn't take a single hit yet, which means that this boss is looking like it's going to be a perfect. I just need to be able to kill him right now. I should be able to do that. Great. Even if I didn't have enough damage, I would have enough damage to split him, especially with the poison. That seems fine. None of this is very good. Bludgeon might seem like a good idea because we already have some strength, but remember, the more strength, or at least the more damage your card has, the less important strength is, right? Because it represents a lesser relative difference. Now, I think having Sozu here is going to be a good idea. We don't really have a deck that relies on potions. These 3 potions should maybe get us to 1 or 2 elites at best, but the rest isn't really important. I think we need 4 energy more than we need potions, because we have a lot of 2-cost cards. We can actually hit 3 elites in this one. That's excellent, so let's just do that. I don't even have to think about it. Would I like a shop at some point? Absolutely. Will we get a shop if we go this direction? Absolutely not. So I suppose Bank is just gonna give us a lot of money, and maybe that's gonna work out for the best, I'm not sure. Do I try to remove his artifacts? I think so. I mean, oh right, I have 4 energy. I can basically I can basically play every attack in my hand. That's fine. Should I defend here? Twice I should. No reason not to, right? No reason to be over exuberant if we can just defend. Oh, he's just dead. That's great. This deck is looking like it's going to be pretty good so far. Armaments? I think armaments is not that good. I'll be honest. Upgrading all of the other cards seems fine, especially for energy, but at the same time, only gaining 5 block, like if this was 6 block, I think this would be a little bit better, at least it would be playable. This way you feel like you're basically wasting a card to get another card better. Is that good? Maybe, maybe not, but the fact doesn't feel immediate enough. I think maybe it's good in a small deck, but we already have 19 cards, which is not small, it's smallish, but it's not like super small. Let's just land this guy. Maybe we should land one of the other ones, now that I think about it. Because they're buffing, right, so they're gonna be the dangerous ones next turn. This guy's not, this guy's doing 5 damage, that doesn't matter, right? But now these guys are doing 1,000,000 damage. Because they're buffed with lethality. It should be fine though. Right, I thought he wasn't phasing. It makes sense why he would phase, because the bouncing boomerang sword hit him twice. I thought that every attack counts as 1, which is a little bit silly. Apparently that's not how it works. Who would have thought? I suppose Twin Strike does deal damage twice. Okay, so it's not how many attacks you play on these guys, but how many attack potion doesn't matter. But how many times I get hit. A heavy blade that's upgraded is actually excellent. So that's something to keep in mind for next time. I feel like I should have known that. I probably didn't know this at some point, but I haven't played this game in like 2 weeks. So that kind of got me off guard. It's fine, don't worry about it. I think we still got this. 30 damage, that's ridiculous. Can I just end up killing him this turn? I think the answer to that is no. Because of the malleable. Malleable is such a nasty effect. I mean, just protects you for so much damage. I actually might have been able to kill him with vulnerable and a poison. It's fine. We're gonna heal up anyway. It's not like we can do anything else at rest sites, right? Thunderclap and a sword boomerang should be enough. Let's go. Shrug it off. Another shrug it off that's upgraded. I think this is completely fine. With 4 energy, having more cards to play is not usually a bad idea. Especially because now we've added some other attack cards in our deck, so it feels okay to balance it out with a Shrug It Off. That felt good, that felt good. Who do we strike? This guy's vulnerable this turn. Maybe just kill one outright whenever I have the chance. So I'll just do that. I'm gonna poison him, I don't think it's necessary though. This is fine, a sword boomerang seems good. Hit him once. Thank you. 20 damage. So we just killed this guy, I suppose. It's a little bit of a I just wanted to say, it's a little bit of a shame I can't play my defend, but as you saw, I actually could have. My bad, but it's fine. I mean, it's not too bad yet. These cards do not fit this deck. Actually, I just last time I said it's a shame that there's no timer, in-game timer, so you can actually see how much time has passed. But then I realized that there is, but it's only visible in the map screen, which is really nice. We just have to be under 45 minutes. Right, Sword Boomerang seems fine. I mean, what else are gonna play? Just demote damage, some block here, and this. Great, great. Flex is fine. If I do a bash on a heavy blade, he's dead for sure. I don't even have to do the math. Maybe he's dead with this already. Yeah. Having 3 extra strength just at the start of a fight is so good with an Ironclad. Lethality seems like it's a good perk on Ironclad. It's okay on the Silent, and it's just useless on the Defect. So I wish they would kind of take that into account, right, when you're comparing these things. Oh, being intangible here is actually really good, but I also don't have any defense, so it doesn't matter. I think I'm gonna pop a vulnerable on one of these guys. These guys can be really scary. I think just the guys that has the most HP, and let's see how this lands. So they hit him once each time. He should just be dead. I should just do that. And then maybe focus on this guy. Does it even matter? It matters, because if I kill him, he won't be able to do damage, right? That makes sense. If somebody is dead, they can't attack you. Checks out in my mind. He's dead with this. He's dead. Not dead. I can block for enough. If I only had 1 defend on the first turn, I would have been actually able to get through this. That's a shame. Big shame. Big whoop though. I did beat him, which is fine. Spot weakness, a pummel seems excellent, right? 25 damage for 1 energy is ridiculous, especially if you have something like vulnerable, they're just dead. Right, give me more enemies. A Snacko dude is fine. No enemy is not fine at this point. We do have a lot of damage in our deck. Especially with a bag of marbles, they just start out being vulnerable, which means we can just destroy them. Snacko really feels like an elite fight. Like if he had 200 HP, I think he would constitute as an elite for some reason. Or if he was intangible on his first turn, when he was casting his confusion, I think that would make him for a really unfun elite. Unfun because, of course, he's an entirely random enemy to fight. A Whirlwind is excellent, right? I can't not take Whirlwind. Happy Flower is decent. I like Happy Flower. Happy Flower is there, right? You don't necessarily notice it, but when it does help, it helps a lot. So it's just one of those silent protagonists that just comes into the clutch and just saves the run out of nowhere. Shrug it off. A Sword Boomerang seems good, and a Heavy Blade. What's more damage? This has to be more damage. 43. Yeah, of course. If you notice my voice being a little bit different, it's still a little bit coarse, just a little bit. It's like when you're sick for a prolonged period of time. After a while you feel yourself getting better, but it takes like 2 weeks to get there. I'm fully operational, it's just certain aspects of my life feel a little bit tougher at this point. Does that make sense? Does anybody else get that? Wait, that's 36 damage. That is 43, this is more. Let's do that. So for example, you're sick for a week, obviously you feel bad because you have a fever, you're coughing, you're basically dying or whatever. And then at a certain point, you start feeling yourself get better and you slowly start regaining that energy. A double tap seems amazingly good. Let's take a double tap. At a certain point, you start feeling yourself getting better, you have more, and get a potion here is horrible. I don't need more gold. Maybe 1 colorless card. We won't be able to heal, I'll just leave. I can't lose 16 HP, I think, not when an elite is coming up. Especially these guys. Very scary. They're not attacking though, so that's good. And this will probably just kill one. Just kinda ridiculous. A Twin Strike to finish this guy off, I think, is just a good idea. That's 34 damage, yeah. Let's just kill damage 1, that's slow. So you feel yourself getting better in the course of that 1 week that you're sick, but at a certain point, things start feeling off, not of, but you feel yourself better, but there are still some remnants of the disease you just got better from. Like maybe you wake up and you have a runny nose, or maybe you're coughing a little bit, or in my case, when I talk for 2 hours at a time, then I notice my voice getting tired, when that wasn't the case before, right? So it's just like, okay, brain, can you please cooperate? We're just gonna do that, kill the little guy, I shrug it off. Do I have more bad cards in my deck than good ones? I don't think that's the case. Basically the defense are bad cards and strikes, the rest seem pretty decent. So I won't play it. And I'm not in danger of actually getting hurt, so this is fine. I just get through it the best we can. Right. It's not what I had in mind. I suppose I'll try to just kill him this turn. I don't know if it's possible, but I can damn well try. 43, I mean... If I just poisoned him before, it would have worked out. If I poisoned him on my first turn, I think he would just be dead this turn. Right, yeah, because he would take 6 damage and then he would take 5. That's a shame. A little bit of an... not misplay, but just miscalculation. Or I guess I didn't think about it, which is the problem here. Metallicize seems fine, but unnecessary. I don't think it'll do much for us, so let's just not take it and bloat our deck. A Transformer card, I'm a fan of transforming. Just a strike. Let's go! Pummel strike, that's better. That's just a better strike, so that's fine. I mean, every card is technically a better strike, but this is literally the same thing except to draw a card and it deals more damage, so it's just better. In every aspect you look at it. No matter which criteria you take, it's a better card. So I'm glad I took that gamble, I suppose. Twin strike. I should focus on the little guys. I don't like doing it typically, but do we have a choice? I don't think there's a hope of us perfecting it. Not with 2 enemies, so let's just take some damage. I was debating whether I should play another defender, but I don't think it's reasonable. They're gonna be dealing like 40 damage this turn. There was a potential for them to be dealing 40 damage this turn. Let me rephrase that and be very clear. Let's see how this hits it. Yeah, this is fine. He's just dead with this. If I do a double tap and a pummel, this is a ridiculous amount of damage. You can just kill this guy. Completely fine. And a whirlwind for posterity, even though it does nothing. I'm not sure if we would actually been able to perfect him, but there was a chance, considering the incense burner, right? I don't know. Especially because he's not really taking an offensive approach in this one. And because we're actually just doing a ridiculous amount of damage with every card we play. Drawing here seems like a bad idea, so let's not do it. And especially because Stone Calendar will actually probably complete this turn and just end up destroying him. Not this turn, but on the 7th turn. I thought he was I thought it was gonna take up to 6, and then I thought the 7th was after I end my turn, but this makes sense. Okay, so apparently forget everything I said, because we would actually not be able to kill him, because he just casts Hyper Beam. There's no way we defend against that, but there's a way we kill him anyways, that's fine. An Offering is just a free good card, so let's just take a free good card. You have 2 Fury. I think at this point Busted Crown is fine. I think this is a decent relic in general, but especially when you're entering the 3rd floor. Because we won't probably make... A lot of our cards might come from the shops because we have just so much money. Picking cards to the reward screens doesn't really matter all that much to us. Let's just see where the elites are. There's one, there's the other one here, there's the 3rd one. We have 3 elites again, and no shops, 1 shop along the way, so let's just do that, I suppose. I think we stuck out. I think we already have maximum amount of money, at least how many points we can get. I think the maximum amount of points we can get for having a certain amount of money is 2,000, and we've already hit that, obviously. 2 madness doesn't matter. I mean, it's just fine, just I'll lose 4 max HP, see if I care. Are there just any cool cards here? Gain 30 block. But I mean, has the potential to do something for us. Honestly, give me another double tap. I love a double tap. Maybe an offering would have been fine as well, but it's fine. We can just spend our money in every way we possibly can, because at this point, really, we just have so much of it. There's no downside to spending money, I guess, at least in terms of score. Maybe there are some events which rely on you having a lot of money, but I'm not really sure what they are, so let's not worry about the things we don't know about. This is great. A double tap, a pummel, or just a sword boomerang first. Let's do that, just to see what it hits. And a double tap, a pummel. Let's just kill this guy. And a heavy blade to finish off this fella, and then I can just destroy their lives next turn. Right, there are always the known unknowns, the unknown unknowns, and I fear those the most, because you never know what awaits you in the unknowns. I'm not really afraid of losing out on things I know I'm missing out on. I'm more afraid of missing out on things that I don't know that I will be afraid of missing out on. Does that make sense? Is that too tragic? I think to an extent it probably is. So I just took a lot of damage for some reason. I guess I hit the spiky dudes a lot. Do I just kill this guy? Yeah. I didn't need to double tap that, to be honest. That's fine. So I did not play this fight very well up until this point. I just saw a double tap, just saw my opportunity, I just went for it. Sometimes that's really all you can do in life, just go for it. Let's just finish off this guy, 3 damage, sure. Just kill him as well. And we have enough block to sustain the 10 attack from this guy, that's fine. We don't want to strike him many times, we want to strike him fast and strong. We're gonna be fighting an elite, so let's save our health. I'm not kidding. This is not looking too good. Fine. That hurts, that honestly hurts, but I think with 50 HP we're fine, especially with the rest coming up. We just need to survive this. So let's just poison one, just to get it out of the way. Let's just focus on the guy that has less HP. Making them vulnerable for 2 turns I think is gonna be a decent idea. We just need to focus one down, I think, then we're fine. But they will do a lot of damage to us. And instance burning coming into the clutch, man. I'm really glad we have that. A pummel? Oh, that he's just dead. We didn't really even need it. Another thunderclap, sure. It's upgraded. When I see an upgraded card, which I already have in my deck, it's just like, why wouldn't I want that? I already have it in my deck, so having an upgraded version just seems better. So let's do that. I mean, that was a very straightforward turn, just play out your cards. Just make sure to play the vulnerable first. A double tap with a sword boomerang seems like a good idea. But oh my god, he's dealing 48 damage. Is he gonna kill us? He might just end our lives here. Okay, so I'm scared. Why is he dealing like 48 damage? That's ridiculous. I need to do the math here. That's 18 times 5, that's 50, that's 90 damage. If I do a heavy blade first, that's 52. Is this our best bet? I think it is. I think he's dead, but I'm not completely sure. He has 2 HP. No! I got too confident for a second. I thought we had it. Well, that's tragic. If I saved the poison for this guy, I would have been able to get him. Maybe I could have dealt more damage on his intangible turn, but the fact he was doing just 50 damage outright was kinda silly. And also the fact we actually didn't draw any friggin' blocks on that turn I was defending. Well, that's just silly, isn't it? Wow. I did not expect just to die so swiftly. I had like 60 HP, I was like, I'm fine. But I wasn't fine, apparently. Well, that was tragic. in all aspects of the word. I think that was a pretty solid daily all in all. I mean, it didn't seem like super hard, but I've only made some mistakes here and there. That just goes to show you just how fast the tides of battle can turn. I'm glad at least I'm in front of the unknowns. That feels good to an extent. The rest, you know, just the rest. My score, not too terribly good. 606 could be better. I think if we got to the end, we would be at something like 900. So it wouldn't be much better than anything else we had in the past, because we couldn't really perfect a lot of bosses. I really need to work on just finding out how you can do that. I think I'm missing out on an important strategy. Like, I don't think I have the balance of defense and attacks in my deck. I probably need both if I want to do well in these dailies. Just having a lot of attacks because I have lethality is an okay strategy sometimes, but probably not most of the time. Now, what I think I should have done here is actually go into the shop early on and just buy a lot of defense. On this floor, I think if I did that would have saved me a couple of times. I would have definitely survived if I had like 2 more defense in my deck. It would just made it much more likely for me to draw into something that gets me blocked. But still, I think we learned something from this battle. It was a run after 2 weeks of not playing, so do forgive me for being a little bit rusty. I'll get back into it, I promise. It just takes a little bit of time and you know, just some more mental energy, and then we're gonna be we're gonna get to the Spire and actually slay it. I think that's gonna be a good goal for the next one. Just start winning again, and then we can worry about getting points. So with all of that said, I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I hope to see you next time.